All
Damn
right.
it, you missed interrupting him.
Oh! All right, guys.
Nice.
Welcome to the HCG podcast. This is day 2 of E3. This time we're going to go through Microsoft, EA, and Ubisoft. I'm Josh Courier, but of course I'm not alone. I have with me the Frag.
As always.
And Matt Wilkinson.
Hello.
All right, guys. So again, day 2 of E3. We've had conferences all day. We're going to break this up a little. Tomorrow we'll take care of Sony, PC, Nintendo, and PlayStation, which I guess is the same as Sony. It's been a long day. But let's start with the Microsoft conference. So right off the bat, part 1, we see Halo 5. Frag, what'd you think?
That was pretty good. I really liked it. Of course, it's got Nathan Fillion as, I don't really remember, Sergeant something or another. But
The captain, obviously.
It's Sergeant, so no, not Captain. But Captain.
Moving on.
Oh, right. No, I mean, it looked good. The graphics looked pretty good. Colors looked really good. It looks like another Halo game, but being able to have the Master Chief side versus what they call them, Spartan
3s.
Well, they were Spartan 3s, yeah. I'm trying to remember what the guy's name was, but I don't recall off the top of my head. It's been a long day. But yeah, and then so you have the two teams determine is Master Chief a traitor or not, or something. Looks good.
Yeah. And frankly, I think the Master Chief series just needs another narrator, especially with Cortana gone, at least from a story aspect, that they're going to need something else to kind of tie that down. I mean, let's be honest, John isn't exactly a chatterbox, and I don't want him to be one.
He spoke more in that trailer than I've ever heard him speak in any of the games before.
Sure, but that was the entire line of dialogue for the whole game, so...
Yeah, there we go, yeah.
A couple of things I noticed. Once again, the Covenant are back, which left me with a question of, are we still facing off against a rogue splinter group, or is this going to be back to war? And then, of course, I saw a lot more verticality. That's a thing we've been seeing all E3 when it comes to first-person shooters, is taking that Titanfall formula of making sure we can double jump and we can grab onto boxes. And...
Titanfall? You mean Tribes 1? the theme of E3 was, this is stuff PC...
Sorry.
They're doing stuff the PC had half a decade ago. Half the stuff I'm seeing in the game.
Well, we're even seeing stuff like Doom is doing the same thing. I mean, that game has gotten a lot more vertical about it, and so has Halo. But Frag, one of the surprises for us was Halo Warzone. What did you think of that?
It looked good. They didn't. I don't know if it was very clear or not, but what it looked like was PvPE.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, whereas what is it, 5-player on 5?
Actually, it's up to 24, so it's 12 on 12.
Oh, is it 12 on 12?
Yep.
Okay, for the Warzone. So yeah, 12 on 12 plus spawning enemies.
Yes.
So it was kind of like, I think you mentioned it reminded you a lot of Titanfall, but I think this seems a lot more... I think this takes it definitely to the next level, where you have an actual enemies that might actually matter, because I'm sorry, a little MOBA like enemy that shoots blanks at you versus an elite that's actually going to fuck up your day is a little different.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what this is what's gonna come of this.
Yeah, I think it's a unique thing, and I agree. I mean, Halo's always had decent AI for their enemies. Used to be the best, but obviously times move on. But that was Halo 5. Let's move on to Inafune's got it.
Actually, really quick on Halo 5 before we move on.
Sure.
Squad-based combat. Did you notice that?
I did, yeah.
That
very
was
similar
really...
to ODST.
Well, I don't mean in that way as in you have members of your party with you, kind of like you had with Reach as well. But I mean in the, hey, go take out this target. Actually telling your squad what to do. That's very unique to Halo. You haven't had that in any of the other Halos.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
I like it too. I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with it. I cannot wait to see more.
Okay. Did you have anything else that you had noticed during Halo?
New weapons, new enemies.
Yeah, we should talk about that. We saw a couple of variations on the what are they? The Prometheans.
Prometheans.
Yeah, on the Prometheans. So we saw some of their big ships. We saw that there's a new leader that you're up against. So that was cool. Mm-hmm. It's good to see that side's evolving as well.
They, of course, brought back the giant mech. which the name escapes me. But they also brought in what looked like either I don't know if it was a Promethean version or not, because it almost looked like an Elite version.
Okay.
I mean, it's to me, because it wasn't all shiny and like, you know, bright colored. It looked kind of like the darker hues that you get more from the Covenant side. But it was very, very brief, so I didn't get a good look at it. But you definitely see some new vehicles of some sort. So I'm really interested to see how that plays in the multiplayer aspect as well as the single combat. So
okay,
I'm excited.
Yeah, looks good.
I might actually play my Xbox One. Unless they have it on PC. Did they say it was on PC?
No, it's not going to be on PC.
Okay, I still don't care then.
Poor Matt.
All right, now let's move on to Inafune's got a brand new game. Matt, what did you think? This game's called Recore, coming out spring 2016.
So Inafune, for people who maybe aren't know because they don't listen to our podcast as we gloat about him, is basically the guy behind Mega Man.
Mm-hmm.
He did Mega Man 2. He's also recently had an out with Capcom and went and made Mighty Number 9. So he's kind of a character designer, which looks pretty good. It's basically new Mega Man game.
Yeah. Which
on the PC, awesome. Which is why I care. And they look at Recore. They just had a gameplay trailer, but glowing orbs, very Mega Man-ish, and it looks like you have a pet that follows you around. That you can kind of change what body it goes into. Looks like it might be a main game mechanic from the trailer.
Yeah. What do you think, Frag? Did anything stand out for you on that game?
That's the orb one. It looked intriguing. I wonder if they're going to do anything where, I mean, just from the end of it, it looks like I'm probably wrong, but being able to like take the orb and put it into something else. I know they showed it. At the end, you had the big robot that was the dog, but then you had a couple other followers, it looks like, so you're going to expand your group a little bit. So I'm intrigued to see how the story progresses by gaining more and more allies. But I was kind of wondering if you could be like upgrade like orbs bodies, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
I think one of the questions I was left with, I mean, this was a cinematic trailer. We didn't see any gameplay. I have no idea what that game is. Is this going to be a side-scroller similar to his Mega Man roots of before? Or is this going to be a first-person shooter, a third-person action game? Like, we didn't get any of those answered.
Yeah.
All we did get is that, you know, it's another robot thing with glowing orbs. That's kind of his wheelhouse. But on top of that, it does seem like there'll be some mechanic where your companion can be changed. And whether it fits into puzzles, all we can do is speculate. But it's Inafune, so I'll buy it when it comes out.
It was a beautiful cinematic trailer.
Yeah, looked great.
But it was a cinematic trailer.
All right, let's move on to two big news. Well, okay, one giant news and one kind of big news. But first of all, Xbox One backwards compatibility coming this fall. Thousands of titles. And all you have to do is put your disc in, is what they're claiming. You don't need to rebuy the game. This isn't a digital library. This is true backwards compatibility.
Now, from the stuff I read, you put your disc in, but it's supposed to like download a new version or something.
Which is similar to 360 and how they handled Xbox games.
Yeah, my expectation is the developer has to recompile the game, and they have like some kind of compatibility library. So it's not like you put your game in, it's guaranteed to work. But they're making it really easy for Xbox 360 guys to port it over to Xbox One, is my guess.
Yeah. So finally, I get another console to play Red Dead Redemption on, and Matt is still nil.
Rockstar will pay. They'll pay.
But Manfrag, big news, right? I mean, surprising news at least.
I think this is the next evolutionary step for Microsoft. In one, they got rid of the Kinect. Didn't get mentioned at all. Not once. Backwards compatibility. Fantastic. I think this is what they need to do to kind of stay relevant. I think with admin of Steam and all that stuff, they've been kind of hurting. I think this is a really good move on them. It really lets people go, okay, there haven't been a lot of Xbox One games that have come out, but now you have the entire library, potentially, you know, of Microsoft games on console. So I think this is a great move on their part, and I'm hoping to see more information when it comes closer to fall to see if it's actually going to work.
I mean, if they've announced it like this, I don't see why it wouldn't. I think it's a great move.
Yes, because E3 has always had announcements that have actually come true.
Well, to be fair, Microsoft has pretty Microsoft's known for having really good dev tools, and I wouldn't be surprised if they actually planned for having Xbox 364 compatible through dev tools. Yeah. They might have planned for this years ago, and now it's paying off.
Well, I mean, come on. Microsoft has been a software company up until, honestly, recently.
Sure.
They've been a software company. So you're absolutely right. They've got the dev tools to do it and the team to do it. So.
Yeah. What I think's unique about this and calls out beyond anything else is that this is something Sony's not doing. We've seen Microsoft kind of have to chase what Sony's doing this whole time. And now it's a great time for you to, one, say, okay, well, that's one thing over Sony. But two, and what they really want is, there's a huge Xbox 360 base that still has an upgrade to the next console. Yeah. And now you don't need to worry. You could tell mom and dad, hey, all my old games are still going to work. All you need to do is buy me the console today, and then I'll have a whole library to play. Like, that's a fantastic move. And I think come Christmas, that's going to be a game changer.
Yeah, totally. I'm kind of wondering what this is going to do for the recent trend of HD remakes.
They'll still probably be there. It's cheap and easy to do.
Damn it.
All right, a little bit of smaller news. The new Xbox controller, there's a new one called the Elite. It's got everything is switchable, it seems. You can get different thumbsticks, different D-pads. There's actual little, I forget what they call them. They're on the back of the controller, the little paddles. Yeah.
Yeah, so what are those for?
I have no clue.
Because the games have X number of buttons. What do you use 4 more buttons for? Is it switching controls
games.
Or something?
Turbo, obviously. It honestly, one thing I was thinking about is this could be good for people that have dexterity problems, or say for some reason only certain parts of your hands work. This thing's going to work for a lot of different people.
Oh yeah, and it's fully remappable. It's definitely good for the people who have disabilities trying to play games. I saw, I was reading some stuff from people who have disabilities that are super happy about that.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's a great move. And I was thinking the esports crowd. I mean, who knows what putting something back here and freeing up your thumbs. I mean, that's frames worth of time you get. And when you're at esports level, frames can win things. I mean, who knows what they're going for. But it's an optional move. I think it's a good move. I think it's cool.
Yeah, I want to see more about it, and that's just the thing that happens with E3 is you get all these cool announcements, and you're like, okay, but what is it? And you just gotta wait.
The whole point of E3, though.
Exactly. What is it?
All right, let's move on. We talked about yesterday Fallout 4, obviously the big story. Some new stuff was shown at the Xbox press conference, surprisingly. Let's start with the game before we talk about one of the big changes for Xbox. Frag, power armor. How was power armor?
It looked effective.
Mm-hmm.
It looked really good. It actually looked like you had a sense of invulnerability in there. You had 6 or 7 guys shooting at you, and it didn't seem to matter at all. You just shrugged off all the attacks and were able to just keep on going. And it was really exciting to be able to, jump in that and just brush everything aside. You were much slower, I noticed. I'm not sure if you did. You noticed you were much slower, but you just looked like you could just take it all day long, except for the death claw. But what are you gonna do?
Matt, did you get a chance to watch the Fallout 4 trailer at Xbox?
I didn't see the Xbox version. I did read the news. Apparently, the one thing I caught my eye is they're going to support mods made on PCs for the Xbox One
for free on the Xbox One.
Microsoft is. I think they're kind of realized they should take advantage of their connection to the PC gaming market because they still have the main OS for that. Mm-hmm. And it's wait, people make mods for these games. We can bring that over. Sony's not going to quite. That's going to be a lot harder for Sony to pull off that same trick.
Mm-hmm.
And
True.
And there's of course the other announcement that we'll probably get to later. That's very PC-ish in its style.
I'm really
Actually, that'll probably be next.
I'm really curious to see how they're going to pull that off because I honestly don't quite believe that it's going to be all mods or most mods, or are they all going to be actually free? I know Steam's recently tried to do the pay for mods?
Oh,
is this something they're going to be following through? And
Steam got burned on that so hard. No one's going to try that.
No.
Oh, I disagree, but that's
it's not going to happen. And here's the thing.
Oh, I disagree 100%.
Mods
I think it's going to happen.
Always been charged on Xbox because Xbox had a policy that if you were going to host on their website or on their servers any content for Xbox, they would charge the developer to pay for it. It was somewhere 10 to 20,000, and that's why updates were so difficult. They've since changed that course policy and now saying, hey, let's put mods out there. I agree with you that there's probably going to be some sort of gate on those mods, and if I had to guess, it's going to be Bethesda.net. I think. Microsoft's not going to want every single mod in existence because they don't know what's going to work for Xbox or not.
Well, some of those mods they really don't want on their system.
Yes, that too.
Yeah. I suspect they're going to have some kind of limited scripting and asset stuff for their PC mods can get pretty crazy in what they do with they literally hack the game code stuff. Those aren't going to transfer over, but if the game engine's adaptable enough, they can probably get a good majority of them in there.
Yeah.
Stuff like probably texture packs and whatnot just aren't going to fit. Well, they might. Xbox got a fair bit of RAM on it.
Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's all speculation at this point. So, does anyone want to talk about EA Access? All right, good. Moving on. That's what E3 sounded like, too. EA Access! Crickets.
Yeah.
One guy.
You know what we could talk about now? Let's talk about it when we get to the EA portion. Plants vs. Zombies. We'll get back to you. Dark Souls 3. Another one of those cinematic trailers. We didn't see a lot of gameplay to it. Now, Frag, you're kind of our resident Dark Souls fan. I mean, did this do anything for you?
Oh, it did something for me.
Okay, well, have a good night, guys.
No, it looked, again, a cinematic trailer. You don't get anything out of it for gameplay-wise. But again, it's a Dark Souls game. You already know what the gameplay is going to be if you've ever played a Dark Souls game. Mm-hmm. Those don't change too much. Maybe some, stat allocations and whatever. But overall, they don't change that much. However, again, seeing, a giant appear, one of the other giants that are, not a whole lot left, if any, it looked like a king giant. Again, I don't know much, obviously, about it because it's not out. But, oh, man, I am super excited. I cannot wait to play it.
Yeah. So, okay. I don't have anything to add. Did you have anything to add for Dark Souls 3, Matt?
It was a game. It was a trailer. Doesn't tell me anything.
It didn't tell us anything. That's true. Yeah. Again, we saw Division, Rainbow Six Siege. We're going to get to Ubisoft. We'll talk about that when we get there. But let's talk about the list of indie games. Taking a cue from Sony's press conference last year, they brought in and just talked about a lot of the ID Xbox games. Some of the ones we saw Cuphead, which we saw last year. A game called Rise and Shine, Flame in the Flood, which, Frag, you've done an interview with them. Yeah. A game called Phantasmal, Solus, Westerado, Sword Coast. I want to know, I saw Ark. Ark. Is that coming to Xbox?
It looks.
There's no way that Xbox can run that.
I looked it up. It's supposed to be coming out for Xbox One and PS4.
Wow.
I don't know what they're going to do to cut that down, or if Microsoft and Sony are just handing them 5 engineers each to try to figure out how to make it run decently.
They need to.
They need it. It should not be bogging down my computer.
Yeah, Frags and I both have pretty beastly machines. I get 24 frames per second at 1440p at max settings.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game should not be that way. I shouldn't have to play it on the lowest possible settings and run it 20 frames a second. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's something going on in there that's just freaking everything out.
So it'll be interesting to see how they modify it for the consoles, because, we'll see. And then, of course, Behemoth Game 4, which I'm a huge fan of the Behemoth. These are guys who did Castle Crashers. Is there any of that list that stood out to you guys that you want to talk about? Because I have a few that I want to talk about.
I put that video on the website.
I would imagine.
Whoops.
That's probably why I didn't see much of it.
With the Behemoth thing, I like their team. I think that team is pretty awesome, but I don't play those games. I don't play indies that much.
Play those games.
I don't get around to playing a lot of indie games. I'm sorry.
Matt, was there any in that list that stood out to you?
I'm totally not sorry.
Good to know.
Not the only one I really noticed was Ark, and I just because I saw the little intro and I was like, wait, are they going to put Ark on that damn thing? Which we already talked about.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. I mean, I do take it back. I am actually really looking forward to playing the Flame on the Flood. I mean, especially after talking to Forrest Alling, that game looks like Don't Starve on a boat and awesome. I cannot wait. Yeah.
For me, a couple of games I saw. Gone Home was one of my favorite games when it came out 2 years ago. The fact that they've been working on a new game called Tacoma looks amazing. This is set on a space station, and there isn't a lot talked about. Gone Home is such an atmospheric and very important story. I understand them not talking about it. But again, you have a female main character. It looks like everyone's deserted and gone, and you're trying to figure out what happened at this station. And those guys have my money. Like, Gone Home was such a fantastic game. I can't wait to see what they do next. Cuphead we saw last year. It is basically Boss Rush, the video game. You can do up to 2 players. It looks like a 1930s cartoon style, and it looks hard as hell. You saw like bullet hell bosses. We saw different like techniques and versions, and like that's all you're facing is bosses the whole time. So
which game?
Cuphead. So that game looks great. I'm excited about that one.
Remember Cuphead?
Yeah, look it up. We saw it last year. We saw it again this year. Hopefully someday it'll come out. I don't know. Let's move on. There were some other indie games. Go check out our website. See the trailers for them. Tell us what you guys think of them too. But early access coming for Xbox One. I'm on the fence about this. Matt, did you see this story?
Yeah, I heard about it. I was kind of surprised because the console's kind of been a very walled garden, kind of polished experience is what they kind of go for. On the PC side, we get the brutality of like, buggy games and betas. It's kind of something you learn to deal with. But a lot of the early access stuff, you like on Steam, you see these games just take off. These weird, obscure games, like Ark recently would be one of them. DayZ early on. It's been a lot of early access games that become crazy popular.
Kerbal Space Program too.
Yeah, that was way before that stuff. And I think Microsoft's they've been looking at Valve going, we need to figure out how to get in on this because they seem to be doing pretty well on it. Now they're doing a different thing, and I think it's basically free access. Like you don't pay for it, which I thought was kind of a nice touch, but you can only play it for a little bit or something like that.
Right. We haven't seen details on what that means, but yeah, you basically get to try it for X amount of time before you even buy it.
Yeah, but I am wondering about how they're going to do, because like you were talking about before, Microsoft used to sit there, they had to pay Microsoft to host your stuff. You'd also have to pay Microsoft, I think they would do their own QA and reviewing of stuff for content and all that. And if they're going to allow early access, you can't do that system anymore. Like they have to kind of, there's less of a barrier between the developer and the gamer, and there might be some stuff Microsoft doesn't want to slip through that little wall that might slip through now. Like buggy games, console might crash, who knows what kind of stuff could happen. It's a bit of a risk for them, but I think it allows them to build up more hype. Like I said, I'm thinking they're trying to take advantage of their PC kind of background.
Which is smart, honestly. It's what they should be doing. And it's good to see them doing that. A couple of games that were announced. We got The Long Dark, Shelter, Elite Dangerous, DayZ.
I'm very surprised by Elite Dangerous. I am 100% surprised.
I am not that surprised by it, honestly. Really? Well, if you look, Microsoft's going to be pushing hard for VR. Like they're supporting the Oculus Rift. They had announced support for the Valve. They have the HoloLens, and at the moment, Elite Dangerous is probably one of the very few games that is that's really like polished and high quality, and is really good on VR. That's like the only game right now. So that is something they probably would have been very interested in trying to get on their system. Yeah. And the graphics on that are not that intensive that they couldn't run it on console. It's not like Star Citizen where you just don't have a prayer of running that on a console.
So we got 15 minutes in before Star Citizen came up on a Microsoft conference. That's not bad.
No. Well, I don't know about that. Not the 15 minutes. I totally agree there. But on the Elite Dangerous, like there's still a lot they're going to be adding in. Mind you, not like, actual in... as far as I'm aware, you don't actually have a... what's the word I'm looking for? The innards of a spaceship, I guess.
Oh yeah, and they can add that later on.
Especially
as they get VR.
Yeah, they're planning on adding the innards later, I heard. Because Elite Dangerous was kind of going for, let's get this part of the game working and sell it and kind of get it polished and finished. And Star Citizen's going for, we're going to have everything awesome when we're done.
Keep giving us money, because you are.
Yeah. That is such a weird trend of putting a game out and then finishing it later. That just weirds me out.
Planetary Annihilation kind of did the same thing. It was kind of...
Yeah, they did.
I played it, like, the engine felt done, but it felt like there were holes in the units somehow. Like, there's units that should be there that aren't. And like, they've been releasing units over time, and I think that was my problem with it. It's just like, it didn't feel like it was all there.
Well, I don't want to get bogged down in a separate discussion. I think we can talk about early access another way. But let's move on. Let's move on to Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider. I got huge Uncharted feels while watching this, which, you know, it makes sense. Tomb Raider, and then Uncharted took Tomb Raider. I actually watched this and thought Tomb Raider's taking it back. Matt, what did you think of Rise of the Tomb Raider?
I kind of had to skip through a lot of the trailer because, you know, I actually have a job. But yeah, of course, you talk to the guy who hasn't even played Uncharted because it's on the console.
Oh, so yes, that's
right. But it looked good. It looks like they're going for... It's a lot different than the original Tomb Raiders, which were kind of very, you know, Laura.
Yeah.
Laura's now properly proportioned. Actually, there's a lot of female antagonists in the game, protagonists in a lot of these games you've been seeing. A lot. I'm kind of tempted to kind of go through and add up male protagonists, female protagonists, or either or neither, just to see what the totals are. I wouldn't be that surprised if it's 50-50 male and female protagonists now.
Which is good, and it needs to be that way. I mean, 50% of the gaming audience is women. It makes sense.
Yeah, like Recore is that way. This is I saw several others. That
Mirror's Edge, of course, but we'll get back to that as well. Fry, what'd you think? Tomb Raider. I mean, is that what you're looking for in Tomb Raider?
I think it's a... So the last Tomb Raider was let's beat the shit out of her for a long period of time, really beat her down, and build her back up. And it was a great game. And this one seems to be the... I've recovered for what what happened in the last one, and now I'm going to come into my own, if you will. And I think it looks fantastic. I think the getting back into the actual tomb raiding, aspect of the game. I don't know why I said hey aspect, but the actual tomb raiding aspect of the game looks really good. I really am intrigued at the self-discovery, it looks like, theme they're going to go with the Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
so,
I agree. Good. I think that looks great. I also love the action to it. I like the fact that once again she gets taken away from people that may be more competent than her and make her kind of redo this. I will say a little bit of Modern Warfare 2 by giving her pickaxes and having QTE events, but that's just me. But I agree with you. I want to see Laura get back to tomb raiding. I think that brings her back to her roots, and it's a great way to do it. I will argue she's probably not recovered. That'll be part of the story, because if you remember last year's trailer, she's in talking to a psychologist. We'll probably get a backstory of her dealing with the events of the first game.
Her PTSD, yeah.
So anyway, I think we can all agree it looks really good. They're still only talking about it being exclusive. I have to still think that that's not the case, that it's going to be a timed exclusive, but, we'll see. But either way, Xbox One players will get to use it first.
I really hate that. I really hate that thing, that trend as well, of exclusive for a couple weeks or a month. That I don't know, that just bugs me so much.
Yeah, it's not going to go away. I mean, that's a reality. But let's move on to another exclusive game, and one I was shocked about, and I am super thrilled. Sea of Thieves coming from Rare.
Yes.
Wow. A multiplayer pirate game. I actually thought about the fact that we do not see enough pirate games, and that's weird to me, because pirate games make perfect sense in the video game space.
We had
Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed 4. Well, to be fair, there was an MMO pirate game before this, Puzzle Pirates. So I didn't see enough puzzles in this. I was confused.
We also had Sid Meier's Pirates before that. But I mean,
that was a long time ago.
It's just not a genre that, or at least a theme that isn't explored as much as I would expect. It's got natural exploration. It's got combat. It's got kind of periods of downtime. Even Zelda did like a pirate-ish thing in the one with all the water.
Wind Waker.
Wind Waker, thank you. So I'd love to see this, and it looks like it's a big open world. You can have your buddies and
ship
go
combat looked good.
It beat Assassin's Creed to ship combat online. And, you know, Rare is a shadow of its former self. A lot of the former employees of Rare are gone.
And it's by Rare. You're right. Yeah.
But, I mean, it's not the same Rare team anymore. Like, that's just reality. They moved on. They're doing other things. But still, to see that kind of colorful, bright, I am so hyped for that game. I think that's going to be an amazing game.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see more about that, too. I am super pumped.
Yeah.
I did not expect that game at all like you, and I'm really glad I was able to see that.
Mm-hmm. Anything else to add on Sea of Thieves?
I like the art style. It's kind of it has those, like, it's somewhat dark, but at the same time it's very cel shady, really kind of cartoony. So it's really interesting.
All right. Well, let's move on. We briefly talked about the fact that Microsoft is working together with Valve VR, which they announced, and of course Oculus Rift, where you get a free Xbox controller with every Oculus Rift and streaming support. But we got to see HoloLens finally, and a Minecraft demo that Matt, what is the tech here? I mean, what's happening? Is this real?
So I really wish they I really want to read the tech that they're using in it. Like, I know what it's roughly doing, but I can't really. I want to know the actual details. I really love that kind of stuff. But so HoloLens is an augmented reality, so AR versus VR. There's going to be all kinds of debate about that as we come up. So VR is you're in the world, and that's where you are. Augmented reality is you have this world, but little extra things in it. For instance, and for the people who didn't see the Minecraft demo, which probably should just go watch it, they had one person playing Minecraft on their tablet, and then they had basically guy wearing the HoloLens. He was like looking at it on a wall. There's nothing on the wall, but it from his point of view, there's a screen on the wall that you can see Minecraft through. And then he like walks over to a table and does some voice commands. This is like I'm saying, HoloLens is where the Kinect technology is going. That's why probably another reason not mentioning Kinect is because they don't want to confuse the two.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the table, the Minecraft world that his friend's playing in starts like building itself up, and he can actually see it and look around, and he's almost like God mode. It's like, I'm going to throw lightning. So he literally like had lightning strikes in there. Was exploring around. I'm kind of the UI looked a little weird. Like he actually had the ability to put his hand in there and like grab and move things around, and he was
okay
like
with
looking. That was okay, but like the looking the target, I think some of the UI components haven't worked out yet. But like as a core idea, that looked awesome.
Yeah,
I agree.
It looked really awesome, and I like they had the camera, so they had the person's wearing the goggles, and they had the camera that had a goggle type setup on the camera. I have heard that there is some field of view limitations on like their current prototypes, which I hope they fix, because that otherwise like you look over. So for instance, if you can see the Minecraft world like this, it's kind of like you look over here and it's not here anymore.
Oh, okay.
So they need to widen that. I think the early versions had it wider, but the small kind of it looks proper versions are narrow. They'll probably fix it. It's still pretty early. I won't expect the HoloLens to be out until 2017 at the earliest.
That'd be my guess as well. So, Fry, what'd you think? I mean, was that it blew me away. How did you feel about it?
I was equally as impressed. Also, a strong sense of disbelief. I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm just a skeptical person, but looking at them, like, there's no way that's real. I mean, there's no way it's that colorful, that they looked that well in real life. Like, I don't know. I think maybe I'm wrong, but I'm overly skeptical.
I've heard that it looks really solid. Like the images actually look. That's what I was afraid of.
Yeah,
they would look see-through-ish, but from the person who it looks solid, and that's why I'm curious what they're using for the lens. They're not doing the normal like projection onto a screen. They're doing. I think like they're projecting into your eyes in some weird way. I want to know what that
makes me more nervous.
What I was wondering about is, obviously the scene that we saw was on a camera mounted. What does it do with small movements of my head? Like, that was the thing I was wondering. Is it compensated quick enough? Like, there was no jitter, nothing on that table? That surprised me. And that's where I'm in Frag's camp too. If the technology's there, awesome. And I want to see it. But yeah, I had that hefty dose of skepticism as well.
The camera, I think it's doable. The camera itself is probably recording every 33 milliseconds, and it's got plenty of time to sit there and compensate. If you looked at the new Oculus tech that they have with the time warp, I think that's what they call it, or there's some kind of warping thing, they might find a way of applying that, and that makes up for a lot of the jitter.
Okay.
So I think the tech is... I'm like a little cautious. Like, I don't think it's probably not as good as it looks. Yeah. But I think the pieces to make something that looks that good are all very close.
Yes. Oh, VR and AR are going to be incredible these next few years.
Yeah. So. I kind of have to expect, maybe not this E3, obviously, and not the next one, but I think at the E3 after the next one, they're probably going to start announcing new consoles, because they're going to need something with more oomph behind it to be running VR and AR.
That's true.
With pretty looking graphics. Because the current ones, you can either have pretty graphics, or you could have a low latency, high speed, and they need to get VR. They're both racing for it now. And I think they're going to have to push a new console to really... I think they'll probably have something on the current consoles, but it's not going to be... It's going to be behind the PC side until they get the consoles out that are built for it.
All right, let's move on. We had at least one remastered, so Fraggy got another point for you. Gears of War 1 getting a remaster. I don't want to spend too much time on it. It's Gears of War 1 again. We also are going to see a collection from Rare going through a lot of their gems and hits. Conker's Bad Fur Day coming back. Hopefully it's the Xbox 360 version, not the original 64, but, I can hope. But let's talk about what they closed the show out with, and that was Gears of War 4. Frag, again, you're a fan for it. Did it work? Was it what you wanted?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I mean, it looks good. The graphics look fantastic. The action looks really good. They bring back the cover system, which... It's Gears of War.
It's Gears of War. That's a staple for it. Yeah, it has.
It really is.
Did they have a gun with a chainsaw taped to it?
They did, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if it's taped to it. I don't know where it is either, because I saw two moons. You saw that too, Josh?
I did too, yeah.
So I don't know if it's on Earth, if it's somewhere else. Like, those are definitely new enemies, new characters, which I'm glad for. As much as I like the Marcus Phoenix and Coltrane and all them, it was definitely time for a new cast. But at this point in time, I don't know enough about it. I am very intrigued. They have definitely piqued my interest, and I cannot wait to see more. But no, I don't know. I don't know enough about it. But what about you? Did you guys actually... I mean, I know obviously you and I watched it, Josh. We were both watching the stream live. What about you, Matt? Did you see it at all?
I did not see the Gears of War stream.
That's fine.
Again, it's not something that's coming out on PC anyway.
So I actually do have one thing, and I know that you said we weren't going to talk about too much. Gears of War 1 remastered. Gears of War 1. Yes, I know I made that prediction, and I was pretty positive I was right. I really wish I was wrong. That actually still pisses me off.
It should have been all three, if nothing else.
It should have been all three.
Because even the Master Chief Collection was, yes, the remaster Halo 2, but re-releases of 1 through 4.
Wait, did that make us spoiled?
It's not called spoiled anymore. I call it, let's just do that. But again, I don't want to go over another remaster. Frankly, as far as I'm concerned, they're throwaway subjects at this point. Hey, we got a remaster version. Yeah, good for you.
It has to do with the fact they're getting backwards compatibility, so why remaster the other two games if
maybe
you're going to you play them anyway?
Sure. Okay. So we talked about Gears of War. I will agree with you, Frag. I think Gears of War looked really, really good. I'm interested. And with you, they need to shake up that formula. We needed new monster types. We needed some new characters. And if it puts us on a whole new world to do it, so be it, as far as I'm concerned.
Right? Yeah, totally. Absolutely.
All right. Well, that's it for the Microsoft conference. Let's move on to the EA conference. Let me move my... Nope, wrong thing. Don't worry, I'll get this. There we go. Let's move our EA logo here. EA conference. There's some stuff we're going to skip over. We're not big sports fans, so don't expect us to talk about that. Find another podcast.
Okay, to be fair, they did have Pele show up.
They did have Pele show up, which was kind of a big deal.
And I know nothing about soccer, but I do know who Pele is.
Yes.
That should say something how big a name that is.
For you gamers who don't know, as I explained to Frag, Pele is the Michael Jordan of soccer. And for those of you who don't know who Michael Jordan is, he's that dude on Space Jam. Does that help?
I don't know if the kids know what Space Jam is.
Well, I can't help you beyond that.
Do you want me to look up how long that movie is?
No, I do
you
not.
Want me to...
All right, let's move on.
And hey, they had Hoop God. Come on.
You're skipping ahead of us. EA conference, very first trailer. Mass Effect gets a little bit of a teaser reveal. Matt, did you see this?
I did see the trailer.
And what stood out for you?
Well, it looks like there's kind of a very multi-world kind of fact, because there's kind of like browsing through different planets, and there's kind of a galaxy. I don't know how much that's going to come into play. It probably will. But I never played 3 because, Origin. Oop.
Oh, looks like Zach will be joining us in a second here.
Hello.
Hello, Zachary.
96.
Yeah, thanks for showing us that.
96. My wife was 6.
Zach, I might need to throw you off the stream. I don't have you set up.
All right, no problem.
Yeah,
get the fuck out of here.
All right.
But join us tomorrow at 8 o'clock. We're going to be talking about Sony and Square Enix and
PC.
And maybe we'll get to PC.
Well, we could dedicate another couple days just to PC stuff.
I'll be like a 5-minute conference.
All right. So we'll talk to you later, Zach.
All right. See you later.
It'd be interesting to see the PC stuff since they've never been there before. They're probably not going to have the. I expect it to not be as good as I hope it is, simply because they just haven't done it before. So I'm trying to lower my hopes.
Going back to EA,
who makes PC games?
One of the things that stood out to me, obviously, we have a new galaxy to explore. They talked about. But I saw the return of the Mako vehicle from Mass Effect 1. There was just a small little thing of it.
I don't know if that was a Mako.
Well, okay, fine. A vehicle that you drive around.
A Mako-like
device. With 6 wheels. Yes, okay. I'm sorry. Mako Mark III, whatever you want to call it. But I thought that was cool. I'm hoping that gets us back to that planet exploration that I really, really enjoyed in Mass Effect 1.
Can't wait to start using Metagel again.
Yeah, finally.
I know, right? Oh, man, I can't get past this door.
I'm excited to learn more, but also, we didn't see too much. This is an early trailer. They're not ready. I think they said fall 2016, if I recall. Yeah.
They didn't show the protagonist at all or any of the allies. They did show the N7 armor, so you are, someone. My brain just died on me now.
You are someone. That's good.
And I'm trying to remember. Yes, thank you. I was like, a warden. No, I've been playing too much Dragon Age. A Spectre. There we go. Thank you. God damn it.
All right. Let's move on. We saw a little bit of Need for Speed. It's hard to talk about the game. I'm not sure what was new about it. I know I'm not the Need for Speed guy. I don't think any of us are really the racers here.
Cars are cool.
I say racing games have always looked really beautiful. It looks like Need for Speed is continuing along that hot pursuit track.
Yeah.
There's going to be a new focus on going on icons, so you're going to have 5 different ways to play a story and focus more on characters. I don't know if that's the right move or not. But again, I'm not a racer. I can't tell you. I think it looked pretty. It gave me vibes of, again, hot pursuit. We saw traffic. We saw police. I will tell you, I hate traffic in racing games. Because every time I'm in the lead, I somehow run into some cross traffic that I had split second to deal with, and that pisses me off. But
and failed miserably.
If you would just stop at red lights like you're legally supposed to,
right?
Grand Theft Auto must have taken you forever to beat. Now, Frag, you're the only one of us. I keep going back to you. You're the only one of us who played Old Republic all the way through. There's a brand new expansion called Knights of the Fallen Empire.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts?
Well, looks good. Having the twins, and they look like a neutral evil party, I guess. It's hard to say because they were attacking both the Empire and the Republic and showing their trophies to their master / father, I guess.
Sure.
Why not? But again, that team, I can't remember the name of the company they go through with, which is not very important, but the Old Republic, they always use that team, and they have some of the best cinematic trailers I've ever seen in any company.
Blur?
Hands down.
Blur Studios, yep.
Thank you. That's what it was. That was going to bug me all night. Well, until I get a chance to go to Google. But anyway, beautiful trailer, beautiful, action scenes. It's, I hate to keep saying it, but it's a cinematic trailer.
Yeah.
And it's an MMO. So
it looks
what
beautiful.
You see in the trailer is 99% guaranteed to not have anything to do with the actual gameplay. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Well, maybe I can collect 10 of some new thing I've never seen before.
Ooh, I didn't think about that. All right.
So it looks beautiful. I wish it was an actual movie instead of a game. And I wish it was KOTOR 3.
When I saw Knights up there, I almost freaked, by the way. And then I was like, oh,
yeah.
You jerks. Okay. We got to see a new puzzle platformer called Yarny, which I've said several times to you guys. If there's one weakness, I have two weaknesses in the world. One is for puzzle platformers. Two is the fact I can't fly. And puzzle platformers really get me. I love those games. This looks like a charming little thing where...
You like puzzle platformers?
I love puzzle platformers. As you go along, you use your yarn to actually figure out how to do a puzzle. Sometimes it's simple as swinging or using it to grab onto a fish to pull you across a boat. But I guess there's also this mechanic going on that as you're moving and doing stuff, the yarn you have actually depletes from your character. So
unravels.
Unravels, if you will, sure.
Good word.
So it'll be interesting to see how that plays into the game. I think it looks charming, though. I'm excited for it.
I think it's funny that yarn is a genre for games.
Right?
It's not like this is the one. There's like 3 or 4 other ones.
Yep. Yoshi's Woolly World, Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Totally thought I accidentally went back to the Disney, the
Little Big
Nintendo
Planet
channel. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it looks gorgeous. Anything to add on that before we move on to obviously all of our favorite games of the conference? No? All right. Time to talk about it. Garden Warfare 2. Am I right?
Yeah. And hanging up.
Yeah. I was talking to Frag about this. I think Garden Warfare isn't necessarily the big call to us. But, if I had a kid who was 6, 7, 8 years old and loved Call of Duty and I wanted him to get off something a little less violent, Garden Warfare is the perfect fit for that. Like, that is a great young kid's Call of Duty game.
When you said that, I actually totally agree with you. That is a very valid and good point. And it's really easy for us to look jaded and go, whatever, it ain't Fallout 4, But in all reality, you're right. I mean, while it didn't do amazing, the previous one, it still had enough sales to warrant a sequel. So there's definitely a market for it. Even if it's not for us, it is out there. And it did look adorable in its own right, which is hard to say when you have zombies in the title. But it looked like it could be fun. There was some tower defense. There was some tower defense action going on. There's, of course, a third person. I don't know if I want to say cover, but yeah, it looked like it could be fun, just not for potentially not really for us.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right.
I will say one of the things that is cool about Garden Warfare that I liked is that because it is so zany and out there, they could do so much with that title without ruining some sort of aesthetic to the gameplay. So a ton of Titanfall fell into this game somehow. We actually have a class called, I don't remember the name of the class, but he could call in a Titan himself. And at the end of every match, you have to escape the level as one side tries to kill the other before the escape happens. Straight up Titanfall.
So Titanfall Junior.
Titanfall Junior, yeah. And it doesn't look too bad. We got new characters and classes. This time you're assaulting what looks like more of zombie bases. I think in the last one it was mostly assaulting garden plants. I could be wrong.
Yeah, they made a big deal of finally the plants are on the offense.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know enough about the story or the world of Plants vs. Zombies. Didn't know there was one to have. Okay, yeah. Apparently there is.
What's the name of it again?
It's something to do with the story. Something versus?
Yeah, Plants vs. Zombies. There's your story.
Yeah.
Done.
Wait. But what's the motivation? Okay. Yeah. So yeah, it is what it is. Again, I don't think it's for us, but I think there's an audience out there. Why not?
Dandelion, you killed my father. Prepare to die.
I didn't write down the name of this. This is how much I cared about this. Star Wars has a brand new CCG coming out. Apparently everybody's getting on the Hearthstone train at this point.
At least Star Wars has memorable characters that having cards of might be a little bit more fun
than Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, Elder Scrolls is like, who the hell is it? You can have monsters in Elder Scrolls. That's about it. See a werewolf, annoying thing with mask that murders you, dragon,
Dovahkiin.
What's the thing with masks that kills you?
The priest thing, the dragon priest.
Yeah. Oh, the dragon priest. Got it. Okay, I thought they were like a being that had like masks all over them, and I don't know.
That seems exactly what he described. Sure.
They just toss their masks.
I will say there was one thing
shurikens.
I didn't like when it come to the CCGs. Like, it bothers me that everyone's kind of following Hearthstone, but even more, we're not seeing gameplay on these games. Like, I said this last podcast, there are different kinds of card games, and you just saying it's a CCG, does that mean that I just show off my collection to somebody, or is it as in-depth as something like Magic and Hearthstone? Like, you don't tell me what it means, and that I don't like.
The mechanics have to be at least as good as Gwent.
Yes.
Put that way.
Gwent is not that good.
It's not, but it's still kind of fun. And if they can't reach that,
it's on Witcher 3.
Witcher 3.
Played it.
Witcher 3 is his building card game.
That's why.
There's a lot of people who are obsessed about it. It's a very, for a mini game, it's quite good. Mm-hmm. For a card game, it's so-so. So they got if they don't, that's kind of a good level from the target. So they can't beat the mini game in Witcher 3. They're just not going to be anywhere.
Mm-hmm. So, all right, well, let's skip on past that. Let's move on to a game that I am super excited for, Mirror's Edge Catalyst. This is the sequel to the surprise new IP from EA a while ago called Mirror's Edge. Matt, you talked about this trailer didn't really show anything.
I watched it. It looked like, this looks just like Mirror Edge 1. Mm-hmm. The stuff I saw, I was like, I don't know what's new about it. I think there's got to be something new about it. I just didn't see
it. The promise that she'll never pick up a gun?
That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
That was like start one was like, oh, by the way, no guns. Don't worry about it. Like, oh,
okay, that's good. That was the one problem with the first one.
It was, yeah. The other thing too they talked about is this is now an open world area as opposed to levels, and I'm wondering how that's going to play out. So going from rooftop to rooftop, trying to get across a major city, that's either going to be amazing for that franchise, or there's something nice about having a kind of focused experience with those kind of games where you're trying to run as fast as you can. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But
go ahead.
The other thing I like is that this game isn't... I don't want them to reinvent this formula. I think Mirror's Edge had a great formula. Refine it, if anything. I want to see some changes to her movement a little bit, make it a little more fluid. I had several times I jumped to my death when she just refused to grab a ledge or grab onto a pipe that was right there next to her, and you're just falling alongside of it. Like, those little tweak things can make that game even better. But more Mirror's Edge, and a prequel, too. This is going to be before the events of the first game, so... I'm down for it.
The one thing I did notice was the actual world itself was slightly different. The last one, in Mirror's Edge 1, and again, I don't know if I actually beat it. I think I got most of the way, and I was like, I just kind of lost sight of it. But in the Mirror's Edge 1, there was a lot of reds. Like, you can run and do things on this red surface. In this one, it seemed like a fully fleshed out world where you get to choose where to parkour, if you will.
You think they're not going to do the color coding? Because before the colors were very representative of you can do this here, you can do that there. That was a gameplay.
I didn't see any of that in the trailer, and there were some aspects of her running, but
they did some stuff. They did some stuff. One you saw was like footprints going up walls that you could climb up. And I will say that something that we did see is a fence in there, which normally, who cares? But in Mirror's Edge 1, fences were flat out, hey, you can't walk past this for some reason. I hope that's something they're not returning back to. But we'll see. I'm excited.
Fences keep people out.
You can expect to play that game February 23rd, 2016, so not too far away. Let's get to the big one of the conference. Even throughout the conference, they put little tickers down. It was like, hey, 50 minutes till Star Wars Battlefront. Keep watching, keep watching. But Star Wars Battlefront. Oh my God, Matt. Star Wars Battlefront.
Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
All right. Glad to be here.
What'd you think? How did it look? How did it play? Where were you?
It looked pretty good. I watched it on my phone first, and it was kind of blurry, so I had to rewatch parts of it on...
You were on the bathroom, weren't you? It's okay.
No,
We don't need to know this information.
Yeah.
You said you asked him where he was. He said he was on his phone.
Mentally.
Yeah.
Mentally. Be more specific.
So I rewatched it like the 1080p 60 FPS stream on YouTube. So I was watching that.
The best way to watch it.
So that was supposed to be rendered on PS4. So it's actually what the game engine looks like. And for a PS4 game, it looks if it is running on a PS4, it looks really good for running on a PS4.
There's no way it's running on the PS4.
I don't know. That Frostbite engine is a
Let
beast.
me rephrase that. I think it is totally on the PC, or I'm sorry, on the PS4. However, souped up like crazy and no extra things lagging it behind.
They're pretty close to how that console is going to look out. And honestly,
how many games have we seen that comes out on E3? Like, look how great this is, and when it comes out, you're like, wow, that doesn't look nearly as good. There's no way Battlefield.
I want to remind you that this is EA, not Ubisoft. That's all I'm saying.
It says EA, and like it is. It's the Frostbite engine. Those guys do know how to make an engine.
That engine looks
that's
amazing.
A fair argument. That's a very fair argument.
Like we haven't reached the peak on the consoles yet.
No.
We haven't reached the graphical peak. There's still
no, we haven't at all. No.
But the things I noticed watching through, obviously we saw the Battle of Hoth. Which is very iconic Star Wars and the Battlefront series. That was one of the first things me and Frag played when we went back and played Battlefront 2 again. But I noticed that everything looks crisper. Destructible environments, we saw orbital strikes. God, there was so much we saw in this. I really love the fact that the little tow cable could come out and immediately lock on. You didn't have to aim it on the AT-ATs.
That was nice.
So
that was hold down the button while you're flying past it to actually get it. Yeah.
And I swear there was a little warning buzzer on there too that showed you like, hey, by the way, this is being attacked. So that could give other teammates a chance to knock it off. I love that. I thought that was a fantastic idea. We also saw that they're still going to put in the fact that you could become Jedis in this, which is a great move. And it sounded like they're doing the right thing. They're not balancing those Jedis. I don't want my Battlefront to be Battlefield. I want it to be crazy, fun Wampa attacks. Like that makes me smile when it comes to that game.
I would like to point out there was only one Jedi. The other one was a Sith.
How do I just hang up on Frag? How do I do that? Cut his mic!
So I can't tell, because when I was watching, my audio got it sync, but I remember watching it, and near the end, they're like flying around the plane, and I heard freaking lightsabers and Darth Vader. Yeah, and I was like, that isn't happening anywhere.
Is he in the bathroom?
Are they just like playing these noises to evoke like old feelings of that?
No, they showed Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker near the end of the trailer.
Okay, so
it might have just been a sound thing for you.
Yeah, I had a glitch in my video. Okay, that makes me feel better because I was really confused. I'm like, what? He's just flying a plane. Why is there a lightsaber fight?
I love the reveal too. Is that basically it's like guy running around, and he turns and it's like, oh shit, Darth Vader's just standing there looking over him. And then we saw Luke Skywalker, and I don't know if it's part of the cinematic trailer, but we saw the two Jedis clash with each other, and that's something that didn't happen in Battlefront 2. I would love if that happens in this next.
You also saw him, Luke, reflecting shots back at the Stormtroopers,
and it was like a force push.
Yeah,
technically it isn't, but it was never noticeable in Battlefront 2.
Oh,
but yeah, they totally reflected shots. Yeah, well, you spend your whole time running full speed towards things, so it's hard to care.
Yeah, fair enough. You guys running around or killing me on your own team, jackasses.
A couple of things else I noticed when it came to Star Wars Battlefront. There's going to be a mission mode that's going to be like a story mode. I wonder, is it going to be involved, or is it just going to basically be playing multiplayer with bots? We also saw that they're going to do split screen co-op, which is super impressive. It's not going to look that good, but that's impressive.
They released some more footage of the single player campaign in a different conference, which we'll be covering more tomorrow. But it looked actually pretty good.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, and the TIE fighters, the sound effects, like they were spot on.
True.
So much going on from the AT-ATs to the orbital bombardments. Wow.
I read a little something. Apparently, for the models, I don't know if for all of them, but for like the X-wings or one of those, or maybe all of them, they actually 3D scanned the originals used in the movies, like the LucasArts. So they are the models. The correct one.
I hope
it is literally the ship, because it's the ship from the damn movie. They just put it in the game.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
man, I hope that's true. That's awesome.
Battlefront is totally worth being excited for.
Uh-huh.
Let's move on, unless you guys had any last things on Star Wars before we move on to the Ubisoft conference.
There's a difference between Sith and Jedi.
Okay, so you have nothing, is what you're saying. All right, let's move on to the Ubisoft conference. And the first thing I want to get out of the way, dibs on Aisha Tyler. I say it every year, I'm saying it again. I'm reminding you guys, I have dibs, okay? She is fantastic on that show. She is my favorite. Well, she's really the only Ubisoft host. But she's my favorite out of all the E3 people that gets to present. Because she is so quick. Like, she is so charismatic and fun and rolls with everything. So, anyway, that's out of the way. Let's talk about South Park. Fractured Butthole. I want to remind you guys that is B-U-T, not a second T, hole, W-H-O-L-E, as in, was broken,
I never
but
caught
no longer
that
broken.
joke until right now.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Josh does not actually use curse words, so that's how you know that it's correct.
Yeah, fucking A, you're right. Matt, what'd you think of South Park, Fractured Butthole?
It looks like an episode. It's played like, the thing is, the original game played like an episode, so it's kind of like, I don't think these might not be cutscenes. It's kind of this weird in between, but they were dead on for their satirism of games. Like the part where they had Cartman saying, "It's got to make a 9.5 on GameSpot or whatever."
Oh yeah.
So awesome.
Or the comment like, pre-order the game.
Yeah, right. It's like, shut up, Butters. Dead on for the humor. I'm looking very forward for it.
Well, I didn't play the first one, The Stick of Truth, and I like how they made references to it.
You need to go back and play that. That is such a fantastic game.
I totally do.
I'm excited for it.
The Raccoon Man or whatever it was.
Sure.
Ooh.
Oh no, we're in the wrong game. We're in an RPG. Comes back now with their superheroes.
One thing I thought was cool, when they finished making Stick of Truth, Trey Parker, Matt Stone said, "We're done with video games. We're done. We're not going to make any more. We did the one we wanted. It was too much work." And then they come back and it's like, I mean, we got to the end and we kind of knew how to make games now.
Can't be so bad.
The money was good.
Yeah, we made some good money. I think it's great. That is a fun series. I can't wait to get back to it. Let's go to one of the surprises. A new IP coming from Ubisoft. For Honor, Frag.
Oh my god, I am so psyched for this.
Yeah, tell us about the game. What is it?
So it's 4-on-4 Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah, but more engaged than that.
Way better than that.
Yeah.
So in the cinematic trailer, this is actually when I got super excited. Now, I've done martial arts for 15 years. This is the part where I got super psyched. It's when one of the knights is fighting one of the Vikings, I think it was, and he comes up and he swings his sword around, like pommels him, and then takes his sword and flips it around so the guard is what hits him on the way down. That's a legit move that you don't see anywhere. So that the realism in the combat really made me super excited to see this. And then when you saw the actual gameplay, which I am so glad that they were able to actually do that, to actually bring in some more gameplay. Because again, cinematic trailers are one thing, but having the actual gameplay really made that game look good. It actually showed that it's not just a trailer; it's a really good game. And you could see they had the 4 people on either side. One was playing the samurai, and the other one were playing the knights. And you could tell in the video when the knight was against the samurai, like you could tell that wasn't scripted, because when that samurai died, spoiler, he looked pissed.
Oh yeah, because they flip back to the player and he's just like,
damn it! Like that looked intense.
Yeah. Matt, what did you think of For Honor? You saw this trailer, right?
Yeah, initially I was thinking it's just like a third-person MOBA kind of thing from the initial glance, and I was thinking, then I immediately started thinking Dynasty Warriors, like okay, sword fighting, melee heavy. It looks good. I'm kind of curious how the fighting system works. I'm wondering what the kind of the replayability is. Is it like you just fight each other all the time, kind of a
right? Is there any sort of
objectives or right?
Yeah, is it just combat or is there a bit more to it? I'm hoping there's a bit more to it because they have like castle sieges and stuff. I can see there's a lot of stuff they could do with it.
Yeah. No, I'm excited for it. The fighting game fan of me really, really enjoyed the fact that the combat seemed very involved. Like you had shoves and roll arounds and blocks and counterattacks. Like all that stuff really made me interested. I want to see more of what this game is. And I just have to mention that the guy who presented it sounded like the cheesiest DM in the world, and I loved it. Like at one point he literally goes, "And this is the game!" I was like,
totally
you're going to be the coolest villain. I love it.
And he's going to be playing the dwarf today. And yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it, and I can't wait to see more on it. I agree. I wonder if they're going to have different play modes. You know, and what the objective is. It can't simply be kill the other player. Is it going to be like a MOBA where they respawn and you got to fight them again, or is it when they're dead, they're dead? I think that'd be kind of lame, but who knows?
Yeah, we don't know what kind of game that is. All we saw was mechanics.
I wonder, is there going to be like a leveling system in there? Some kind of character progression?
Possibly.
There's a lot. It looks intriguing. The question is, what more is in there?
Yeah, certainly.
Like, I got a little confused when they did the lock-on system where, like, one character was glowing because it wasn't like, I am now locked onto you and I can only fight you. When the other samurai came at him, he blocked both strikes. So I don't know how that system is actually going to work. So, man, I cannot wait to find out.
Yeah, I'm excited. Let's do a real quick mention. Trials Fusion Awesome Level Max. What the hell was that? We have a cat riding a fire-breathing unicorn. Like, I appreciate the irreverency of it, but what was happening? I don't know. I'm cool with it. We've talked about it several times. I mean, Far Cry came out with Blood Dragon.
Yeah.
Dead Rising came out with their weird arcade mode thing. So this was this year's out of nowhere oddball thing. I'm cool with it.
Right. Keep going. What was that?
Let's move on. The Division. This was shown at Microsoft's conference. We saw it last year. Frag, you have been hyped about this game. Was what you saw keeping you hyped? Are you still there?
Oh, man. The ending made me even... Yeah. If I thought I was excited before, holy crap, am I way more excited now.
So the ending is basically summarized, griefing confirmed.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yes, they're making a mechanic out of ninja looting. Great.
Yeah, right? Like, yeah. Hey, aren't you going to pick him up, buddy? Buddy?
What are you doing? What? You're not gonna click.
Oh my god, such a dick move.
I won't lie to you. I can't decide whether or not I really enjoy the fact that you can't hear other teams speak, or that if I wish I kind of could hear other teams speak. Like, how much more fun would it be like, hey, Frank, they got a lot of loot on them. Excuse me, what'd you say? Hey, guys, how's it going, friends? So, I don't know. Division looked good. We saw a new area called the Dark Zone. What we're referencing is the fact that in the Dark Zone, you can meet up with other teams as well, not just your own team. And how that has to deal with it is really, really interesting. Obviously, in the demo, they decided to screw over the other team and then in turn get screwed over by their own team. It was pretty. But, I don't know. I'm excited about that game. I will say one thing is I didn't feel like anything came as a surprise about that game. But it also seems really cool. So, anything to add before we move on?
No, I mean, I think it looks really great. The weapons are similar ones that we've already seen. No surprises there. I'm really curious to see what else is going to show up about Division. I don't recall. Did they have a release date? I don't think it was this year.
They don't, but they are talking about that there will be a beta for Xbox One and PC March 18, 2016. So for sure, well, not for sure, but I would imagine 2016 fall. But that means that we saw it last year. That was kind of early. For it not to come out till the next year. But still, I think it looks good. So let's move on to Anno 2055. We don't need to talk a lot about this, but it's a city building game where you move from Earth to space, or technically the moon. Words are hard. Technically the moon. Matt, did you play Anno before this? I know I haven't.
I think I played. Anno, I played a little bit. I'm not going to say for certain. There's a game I played that was a city builder that might have been
Skyliner.
No, wait, it wasn't Anno. I'm thinking of something else. Because that was not a city builder. That was like a.
Well, Anno's not out yet, so you couldn't have played that.
No,
there's older ones. This isn't a new series.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I see what you mean.
Let me check my massive Steam Anno. Yes, I did play Anno 2070.
Oh, there you go.
Yes. I forget these things.
Yeah. I think it's a good time for. I was talking to Frag as we watched the conference. We know that SimCity has lost a lot of its steam, and with games like City Skylines out now, I think that city building environment is ready to be conquered by a new king. SimCity has been championed for so long, and I think people are coming back to it. I think they're interested in it, and this gives them something a little different. I'm interested to see what it is. They're not technically my cup of tea, but I still appreciate them. We could probably get Atlas to play it.
I was hoping to see a little bit more in the actual gameplay side. We'll see what happens. It did make me quite intrigued, so we'll have to see more.
Sure. All right, let's move on to a game. Me and Matt picked it as one of our top 5 from last year's E3, but Rainbow Six Siege.
Looks so good.
Yeah.
It looks really,
what did we
really
see?
good.
What was this year's conference giving us?
Drone Wars.
Yeah!
Drone Wars.
Yeah, we got to see a movable robot that goes along the ground, and I love that gave like this idea of camera access. That part was really neat for me. And you notice something different from Vegas. It didn't mark the enemies, which I loved before, but this time I love that it forces you to play a more technical game than you did before.
I am kind of curious how the game speed's going to be, because that's kind of like, putting a drone and driving around. You're sitting there kind of really defenseless. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of curious. I have a feeling this is going to be a bit slower, more tactical feel to it.
God.
Yeah. Now, whether that works in practice, we have to hope it actually works.
I don't think it'll be a multiplayer. I think that'll be a single-player experience for the most part. Because I rarely know teams that hold an area, and in that game, holding an area is going to be damn near impossible when every wall, ceiling, and floor can be broken through.
Well, that's the thing is, like, when they detonated, when they threw a grenade and it blew up, obviously, and you see the floorboards getting destroyed, and you see when the guy lifts up the guy with the shield, and the other guy comes down, he looks down, you could see the basement from there. So I'll be really intrigued to see, is it, and this is my concern, is it all environmental? It doesn't look like it to me. It doesn't look like all walls are destructible. It looks like you can blow small holes into some walls, but other walls are like the actual, is it load-bearing walls that are actually destructible, or just the actual, walls? The rest of it. So I don't think it's going to be all of them. I'm like 99% sure it's not, but I'd like to see what happens.
Yeah, call me Keys on the stream is agreeing with you too. I don't know if I saw, Matt, did you see any walls that looked like they weren't being destroyed? Because I felt like at least a lot of areas, like the one you talked about where it didn't get destroyed, they took a shotgun blast just to make a hole in it. But I don't know. Your thoughts?
I think from a level design perspective, they're going to have walls that aren't smashable. I would hope, because I've played. I remember like
Rainbow Six, or Red Faction.
Well, actually, I was thinking Crisis 2.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
So I played the multiplayer in that because I was like, oh, Crisis is pretty fun, but they did not get the understanding that you need to kind of have limited fields of view. So a lot of places you'd run through, you can be hit from anywhere, and that actually limits things. It doesn't make it as fun where you can't like sneak up behind someone or go around the back. But if like everything's blow upable, then you have that everything's exposed, even though it doesn't initially look that way. So I'm hoping they don't make everything destructible.
You run into the problem kind of like in Battlefield, where if you have the ability to destroy the entire wall, then the whole building's going to collapse on top of you. And that's just not the kind of game that this is. So I'm pretty sure that I think that most walls are going to be able to puncture holes in it or something like that. But again, I really don't think it's going to have like load-bearing walls or anything like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
Anything else to cover on Rainbow Six? We
looks
do know,
good, sounds great, technology looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Classes look interesting. I can't wait to hear more about the classes.
Yeah, beta September 24th. No release date was announced for Rainbow Six, which surprised me. I don't know if it came after the conference or not, but at conference, nothing. Another one of those surprise games, we saw a game called Trackmania Max. That game looks vomit-inducing.
All I could think was Speed Racer.
Yeah, I could see that a lot. It seemed like it was very tight controls and mechanics to it, and the fact that the tracks were very loopy, got you upside down. Looks like gravity is not really a factor, which is why I said vomit-inducing.
It's definitely a factor. It's definitely a factor. I mean, if you were looking at the physics on that, you could see if they didn't have the momentum or the speed, there were definitely ways that they could start to fall or spin in the direction they don't want to go. So I think gravity is definitely going to be a factor in that game.
So, Josh, you don't want VR support for that game.
I do not, and it's getting VR support. They mentioned that too, and I thought that was going to be horrible.
I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, they talked about a lot of stuff. 200 tracks, a random track builder that makes random tracks for you to play. That I thought was really interesting. One of the things I wrote down in my notes is throw some effing wings on it, call it Rush 2049. That's what I really want out of that game. But I don't know, it looks cool.
Actually, I haven't thought of it in a while.
I'd love to see some multiplayer aspects to it, but we'll see how it goes, for sure. Anything else to cover? Otherwise, let's move to our last two games. Okay.
I'm good. Let's do it.
Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Frag, I believe your winning phrase as soon as it showed up is, "Oh, god damn it." Not excited about this game?
I'm really torn
Mm-hmm.
because it looks really good. You got a female protagonist in there as well. It's got that, was it said 1800s? I want to say it's early.
Yeah, 1868.
1868, thank you. It looks really good. It's very pretty. It's got that steampunky kind of feel to a point. All I keep saying is it looks really good, but at the same time, it's the 9th console release of Assassin's Creed. And I just keep coming back to that. I don't know if I care.
They need to let it sit for, I don't know, maybe a year before they release a new one. They're doing like 2 a year, for God's sake. Give the IP a break. It's like they made the first one, like, oh my god, we gotta make 1,000 of these.
Well, they have 3 companies or 3 developers working on this, so there's no chance it's not going to be every other year. And it needs to stop selling really fucking well, because even the last game that was shitty sold really well.
Yeah, but it was buggy as fuck. So, I mean, are they going to have the same problems as, the last one? I mean, this is the same team that did Black Flag, though.
It's not the same team that did
Black
Flag.
It's not? I thought
this
it
is
was.
The 3rd team, yeah. I thought so too, and I got less excited.
I totally thought I heard it was from the Black Flag team, which made me excited. Now I'm back to the original offensive. It's the 9th one!
Because the Black Flag team realized they don't want an Assassin's Creed game, they want a pirate game.
That's accurate. That is accurate.
The Assassin's Creed parts in Black Flag were the worst parts of that game.
Yes. But, I will say I like the environment. I think London 1868 is a really cool environment to have into it. Some other things, I wrote down Grand Theft Kart confirmed.
Those poor horses.
Other than that, we saw that there was Hookshot. This is set with trains.
They had Hookshot.
They had a Hookshot. That's flat out what it was. Okay, fine. Grappling hook. Whatever.
Hey, it could be spider webs. You don't know. Whatever.
I'm with you guys. As well as with chat. They're kind of saying the same thing. Is that this is a game series that we are fatigued on. But that being said, before I get too far, those games come out and surprise us. We all universally loved Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I don't know. I won't say all, but I love Brotherhood. I loved Assassin's Creed 2. It's just, 3 and Revelations and this one and the other one and the other one that I didn't care about. But as far as it goes, I
just thought of something too.
What?
Fuck. So Black Flag, right?
Sure.
Do you remember the Uplay shit that was in that?
Oh, they're cutting back on Uplay.
I just thought of a Syndicate with Uplay crap. Facebook games.
No. I will say that's one thing.
No, really.
I was surprised about.
You don't want to play Assassinville, really?
Something that something we should mention when it comes to Ubisoft. You made me lose my mind. Something we should mention when it comes to Ubisoft is right up front they brought out the idea of like, hey, so you guys really hated us this year. And
yes, continue.
We're listening to you, and whether or not that's going to be true, we'll see. But
they could. Well, they said they're listening to him. That doesn't mean they're actually going to do anything.
Oh, so they're doing the marriage
thing.
His
hate mail.
Well, they're competing with hate mail versus EA. But EA releases Origins like, we got you, Ubisoft. We got you.
And Ubisoft pulled last year and got EA.
So here's the biggest thing: is I'm watching all these cinematic trailers, and that makes me really excited. That makes me pumped to see more about Syndicate. And then I watched the gameplay trailers, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's Assassin's Creed. I don't care. I know people have said, like, oh, let's just bring it into modern times. I've heard that many and many times. They're never going to do that.
They already did. It's called Splinter Cell. It's the same lineage. I keep telling people this.
It is not the same game.
It's the same game. All right.
I'm so surprised they haven't done Assassin's Creed Japan. Mm-hmm. Ancient Japan Assassin's Creed makes perfect sense.
It does. Actually, they have a side-scrolling downloadable game that is that. But they need to do like a true traditional in Japan Assassin's Creed.
Oh God! If we count the side scrollers and the Facebook games, there's got to be like 20 Assassin's Creeds now.
Yeah, and they can't do it. They already did it. So sorry, guys. Let's go. Final game. Big surprise. I actually had no idea what this was. Ghost Recon Warlords. Wow, what a change!
Yeah. That looks phenomenal.
Ghost Recon has always been Rainbow Six in larger city environments. And now, when I saw it, I looked at Frag and I was like, do they own the Just Cause license? Am I wrong? No, is it Mercenaries? Which one is this?
Yeah, we were having a hard time figuring out what that was for a moment, yeah.
And then to find out that it is Ghost Recon Warlords. Matt, what did you think? You went and saw this not too long ago.
Oh, it looked really good. They had the whole, basically sky dropping into a very massive world. It kind of like there's been, I think, the kind of open world big environment thing, like with a natural environment. The tech for that's gotten pretty far along. It used to be it was like just Far Cry, like the original Far Cry had that, but now we have like The Witcher and this. I'm seeing a lot of big environments that look good. So this has that, but the thing that really caught my attention had a very tactical approach to it, and they were showing the 3 different approaches. There's kind of, I can't remember what the first one is, but the second
one... It's like
one,
a blitz almost. Like take out the bad guy and get shit done quickly.
Yeah, just assassinate him and take it out. And second one, which one that looked really good to me because I love stealth games, was sneak in there, murder everyone, blow everything up, kidnap the dude. That's what I want.
Yeah,
and the third one, it's like, go in there, murder everything except for the guy, and he gets in trouble for it. And I'm like,
oh my God. He's a dead man walking. All right. Whoa.
This is going to be on a PC, because we're going to have to get Kevin in on this. I think he's going to love this one.
Yeah, I love this idea of Ghost Recon needed a new identity. Rainbow Six has really already got that, and that's always been the case. Rainbow Six has been this amazing game, and Ghost Recon, other than the first one, has been, oh yeah, it's another one of these. But changing up the formula into this kind of crazy thing, and 4-player co-op, at least what they showed, we don't know if it's more than that. But, oh man, I can't wait to fuck around
open world, too.
Yeah.
Open world, you got vehicles, you saw a bunch of helicopters, you saw a bunch of vehicles. I'm really looking forward to seeing, the more of it, because it looked awesome.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's it. Anything else to cover? I do want to say one thing that surprised me. There was a lot of games we expected to see this E3. We did not. Yes. We didn't see anything from UbiArt. We didn't see anything about Amy Hennig's game from Star Wars. We didn't see anything to do with Scalebound, Crackdown, some surprising omissions in here. Is that because these are games that just aren't ready, or is it because the fact that there are other conferences? We have Gamescom, we have the Tokyo Game Show, where those are going to be shown. What do you guys think?
Yeah, there wasn't a lot we expected, but there was a lot that we weren't expecting either that just kind of cropped up and really surprised us.
Yeah.
The one thing that did catch me, though, versus last year, and even though there wasn't a lot of them, there was more than last year, and that was gameplay trailers.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, there was so few of them. And this year, even if it's just for like 2 minutes, there's still gameplay. There's still something to see.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, we didn't talk about Legends.
No, I know. I passed right by that.
Okay, good choice.
So,
Fable Legends, no.
all right. Let's do one last thing, and then we'll call it good. Let's rate the conferences. So, a scale A, B, C, D, E, F. How did Microsoft do? Matt, you're first.
You know, I didn't actually watch the conference. I just watched the trailer.
Excellent.
Right?
So you didn't like it.
Like,
well, how about trailers? The games they shown, were they the right games to show for Microsoft?
the only thing I really remember of Microsoft is the Minecraft HoloLens.
Mm-hmm.
That alone gets them a B. Just that. If they had just did that, it would have been a B. So I think that's how I'm going to rate it. I guess I can't remember the other stuff.
Well, you weren't excited for Halo on Xbox One?
No, I don't care.
You rate Microsoft.
Ooh, they brought some really great things to the table with the HoloLens. Great trailers. I'm going to give them an A, a solid. Oh man, they did phenomenal this year. I'm going to give them an A plus. They did really well. They were well organized. They showed decent amount of gameplay trailers this year versus last. They didn't bring up the Kinect, not even once.
That's all it takes to win with you, huh?
Yeah. The other thing, backwards compatibility and Inafune.
Yeah, they blew my mind with some announcements.
Inafune,
like,
fair.
That's where that's where the plus comes from. When do I not think about Inafune?
I will say when it comes to Microsoft,
your girl crush with Inafune. I swear to God,
we're the girls in that crush. I'm gonna give them a flat A minus. I think there were some fantastic games they showed. I think again, I agree with you guys. HoloLens blew me away. It blew me away so hard I'm skeptical. That's how far it blew me away. But I think they're doing a lot of the right moves. That backwards compatibility, I think, is a huge win, and that was a big announcement. The gameplay, for the most part, the games we saw were good. Halo 5, I'm looking forward to. Fallout 4, seeing that the Pirates game, that was great. They would get an A+, but they brought up EA Access, and that had no right to exist.
Yeah.
Too late. You can't go back. You can't go back.
Too late.
Nope.
I forgot about that.
I would have liked to see a little bit more from the indie game community. That's something I think PlayStation's been nailing them on for the last few years, and they did a little bit of it, but they need to secure something else, I think. Other than that, I think the early access thing is a good move for them as well, and leveraging what they can do with Windows 10. They talked about some games that are cross-platform between PC and Xbox One, and that is a great idea. So I thought it was good. Let's move on. EA conference. How did it rate? Matt, I know you didn't see the conference, but the trailers you saw. How do you think EA did?
I saw the Battlefront gameplay. I think probably give it A minus just for that.
Yeah. What
the hell else did EA do? I remember one thing for each of these guys.
Mm-hmm. So that's it, huh?
What else did they do?
Well, Mass Effect, Need for Speed. We saw Modern Warfare,
trailer,
Mirror's Edge, and Battlefront.
Do you know what they're doing at this?
They're getting a B plus because there's pretty much the Battlefront was the only one that I thought was like not a video.
Okay, how about you, Frag?
I'm gonna go with B minus. I mean, Star Wars, Battlefront, awesome, like just phenomenal. And I'm going to be completely biased on this one. I just don't care about sports games. Like, I'm not a Madden fan. I don't care. I'm not an NFL fan. I don't care. Like, so many of the games that, you know, I put the trailers up myself, and I was like, okay, cool, let me know when the next one's up, because I'm going to go grab a drink or, you know, do something else. Oh, hey, what do you know? It's NFL time. Okay. Oh, hey, FIFA. I'm not posting you out of principle. Okay. You know, and so much of it was just dead time for me. I didn't care. So great game, decent organization. I'm gonna give them that, you know. But they definitely are like, here's the games that we got to show you, the sports games. Stick around for Star Wars. We're gonna bring it. Stay, please, stay,
please.
You know. So.
For me, EA is going to get a B-. Star Wars Battlefront, amazing. Obviously, that was a showstopper, but that's the game we knew was going to be the showstopper coming in. I didn't feel like there was a lot of new IP that was super exciting for me. Mass Effect, it was cool to see, but again, this is so early and we learned almost nothing. Like, oh, it's a new galaxy. Thank you. I already guessed. Like, there was nothing that jumped out there. I will say,
excuse me.
I think some of the stuff they're doing with sports games, pretty neat. I think FIFA, having the female teams in FIFA, finally, like, that's a big move, and I think that's time
but
they
it's
did it.
FIFA.
Sure.
Like, I want to support the genders equality in sports games. I really want to support that, but it's FIFA, and I have a hard time with that.
Well, you didn't see the extra mode they have where you can actually, once you get the World Cup, you can actually influence political decisions in other countries and accept bribes, and they use that same motion tracker to track prostitutes. So I think this is going to be amazing.
So it's a mix between, it goes from FIFA traditional sports to Civ to Grand Theft Auto.
So
amazing.
It's pretty much exactly like FIFA in real life. It's spot on. Yeah.
I mean, here's the one thing. I will take it back down. I will say B+ for one reason.
You are done changing your score. You put a score, it is down.
It's because of a tweet. It's all because of a tweet.
Oh.
When they did the Hoop God and the guy took a picture of his face, right, a 3D render, I went to frickin' Twitter like 15 minutes later, and someone took his face and put it as like Zordon or whatever his name was from Power Rangers. And I was like, that is beautiful.
It was within like 30 seconds of that being on there, too. Like, it was fast.
I was like, B+ because of that.
I do have to wonder, I don't want to get into this, but I do have to wonder, they pick like a very fit young kid. What about fat guys like us? Like, I want to know how we map on. Like, we got this like skinny basketball player that are pudgy faces. Like, I don't want to see that. But yeah, there was a lot of games.
Too.
There was a lot of games I didn't care about.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. A lot of games I didn't care about. The CCG card game. But Mirror's Edge looked good. Star Wars Battlefront was a showstopper. Mass Effect could have been better. So Ubisoft, final one of the conference. Or final one we're talking about today. So, starting with you, Matt, once again, do you want a reminder of the games we saw?
Okay. No, I'm looking at a reminder right now. So, we have Assassin's Creed, which I don't care about. South Park looks great.
Yeah.
I am really excited for that. Rainbow Siege 6 looks freaking
Rainbow
great.
Six Siege.
Rainbow S words
Rem
are hard.
6 Reshon Sim. Yeah.
And Ghost Recon looks fantastic. Like, I'm giving they're an A. Just there are 3 very good looking games, and 2 of them included really good looking gameplay. Unlike freaking EA, which is all, here's a trailer, guys.
How about you, Frag? And decide on your score before you talk. Don't just flat out a number. You know what? They're letter Q.
Number 7. Brian Regan. Ubisoft. I think they did a decent job. I think Aisha Tyler is fantastic at keeping it funny. You can have her, man. That French girl was awesome.
I like gender equality in games. Also, she was hot. Moving on.
I did notice Aisha not wearing heels this time.
And she was still taller than everybody else.
She sort of, before she was like a giantess towering over the little nerd.
Anyway.
Just looks down slightly at a few of them.
Hello, Japanese developer.
Frag, score, go.
Without explanation, or just give you a number? I don't know
It's letters.
Oh.
What do you got? What's your score?
16. I just love to piss you off. It makes me laugh so hard. It makes me happy.
Hey, chat, I'm taking a request for a fill-in spot. I haven't announced whose spot it is yet. You have to go by the name The Frag.
I hate you. I'm going to go with A-. I think they brought some good games to the table. They kept it organized. They kept it funny even when it was awkward as fuck. Aisha Tyler is a great hostess for them because even when they fail miserably, it makes it at least entertaining. Oh, wait, no. I'm going to go with B because it did Just Dance again.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
I know. I totally did that on purpose.
I watched a little bit of that. I'm like, well, that guy has a really high-pitched voice.
All right, for me, they get the best out of 3. They get a flat A.
Really?
I love South Park coming back. I love the fact they showed some new IP. For Honor looks amazing. And of course, showing us a redone Ghost Recon Warlords. That's Ghost Recon in name only. That's a brand new IP. Like that. That's awesome. I like that. I like seeing more Division. I think it's still too far out. Rainbow Six Siege, my favorite game of last year, probably going to be in my top 5 this year as well. So I think it was fantastic. How about you, Chad? I'd love to know how you guys rated all of the 3 conferences we talked about. So Ubisoft, EA, and Microsoft. Those of you who saw them A through F, let us know.
Not yet, chat.
Not yet. I don't want to know.
Oh, Kyrie Night Boss.
Oh, yeah. No. We'll be talking about Square Enix tomorrow, I promise. Which, speaking of tomorrow, we're going to be covering Sony. We're going to talk about the PC showcase that'll be going on, as well as Square Enix and Nintendo, all happening tomorrow, 8 o'clock here. And then probably running in super late again, because that's how we roll.
Yeah.
And I think that's it for tonight. Do you guys have anything else?
Spoiler for tomorrow. Holy shit, Cairo.
Forget
there
that.
There we go.
Last Guardian.
Oh my god.
So if you guys like what you saw, make sure that you are subscribed below so you get a message when we go live, because even though I say 8, everybody's late anyway. And if you want to see stuff you didn't see in the very beginning, you can also check us out on YouTube. This will be posted tonight. Check our YouTube channel. Link is right below Matt's picture there. And follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We are posting all the trailers, all the news that we can about the game. And by we, I mean Frag, of course. He's doing all the work.
What am I doing?
All the work. You're posting all the trailers. I'm trying to compliment you.
Yeah. Some of us have to do things.
So, again, I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you guys tomorrow night. I'm going to get some homework done and go to bed, because that's now officially my plan. So,
I gotta
signing
get ready
out,
to, yeah.
I'm Josh Courier.
Matt Wilkinson.
And the Frag. Oh, damn it! Hold on. I was trying to, I did, on my screen, Matt's on my right, so I wanted to poke him.
Yeah, it's weird, because we're flipped left and right on the screen. It's confusing me.
Oh, is it too hard to point at your... Ah, damn it! My name?
See? Fuck you!
All right. Have a good night, guys.
Later.